Hey guys, I'm back in the Surpass update. So let's get started. So bonus guys, I mentioned yesterday was at 14.15, and I expected someone to buy this, but I guess they didn't. But yeah, there is still a cheaper bonus guys available. That usually, if it's not sold in one day, it's sold in 2 days. That's been the recent track record with all the price increases. But I do see another box list over here, so I think this is a new one. And so there's this cheap one over here 1415, this cheap one over here 1465, and then we go back to the 1500s. On the next page, we're in the same conditions before, where pretty much there is one box at the 1550s, and we go 1600. So Women's guys still I noticed a lot of booster boxes actually had kind of no boxes sold yesterday, which played in part a lot of the price points. And I don't know, it just kind of happens some days. Some booster boxes just suddenly get slower demand. I don't know, it just feels like pretty consistently that in a certain week, even if I see momentum, there will just be some days where like there's enough people who are like, hey, I don't feel like buying today. If it's time of the week, I don't really know how that works, but yeah, it seems like people can't really sustain like buying activity like every day for some of these products. I'll just go, let's see. But yeah, we do see a lot of red today actually because of the slowdown demand, and then if demand slows down, then increased supply. Nothing like too major. But yeah, I'll go over each of these. But yeah, Evolving Skies is still at the same price point as before. Yeah, I'll just go kind of in order. So Chilling Rain had one box sold yesterday. It was the box that kind of dropped its price the day before to 362. Now it's back at 364. But I do see more sellers selling in between these price points now. I'm trying to get below Geek Bar, which was kind of slowing down the market price. Before that, Chilling Rain had a better run rate to 370, 380. But yeah, ever since Geek Bar listed its boxes, some people buy boxes just because they see the opportunity. They're not really just interested in the cards. Ultimately, a lot of this stuff is for money. So yeah, when you see that much resistance, like they're like, hey, it's not worth it. But some people will buy things just to kind of quote unquote manipulate the market. They want to see the price rise, so they buy the boxes. I'm pretty sure it's part of the reason why Evolving Skies got bought up to such a large extent. Let's see. So Fusion Strike is still looking pretty good. Fusion Strike demand is 4 boxes sold yesterday, so we'll see. As I said, within the last week, let's say approximately the 25th was the last week. That's yeah, so it's see 3 boxes pretty good, and there's some days with 1, then it goes to 5, it goes to 3, then 1 day with 1, and then 4. This sort of buying rate is actually not too bad for these older boxes. As long as people keep buying, and then there are some days where there's more that gets flushed out. You'll start to see healthier price movements for some of these boxes, assuming demand is decent enough. But yeah, I'm still seeing I'm a little surprised that even with all those boxes sold, see some of these boxes are actually selling higher than the current market price. The current market is about 515, and people have bought kind of higher than that. And also there was a bunch of loose pack stuff too. So a lot of Fusion Strike was bought yesterday, and it doesn't necessarily affect the bottom line prices, but it does affect the price points in between. People didn't want to buy from these more less known sellers. They wanted to buy probably from a more trusted seller that was kind of in the middle, because they bought the boxes that were around here in this range, and so they didn't want to go as high as here, but they are I don't really trust these people, so they didn't buy these. But yeah, we're still on track to 2 more boxes until 530. After that, it goes to 550, 57. With all these conditions for these boxes, it's very likely that there's gonna be a box or two at least that suddenly jumps up in price. Whether it's Evolving Skies jumps back up temporarily to 1600, or just up 1600 because someone just buys up all the boxes. Whether it's Fusion Strike that people buy these 3 boxes and goes 550, or very likely to just reach some new price size for some of these boxes. There's just it's just a probability thing. If there's 4 to 8 boxes that have this sort of situation, it just takes one of those 8 or one of those 4 to go up. Brilliant Stars is seeing a bunch of demand lately, and it's relative to the fact that it's old box. But in the last week, again, doing pretty well. If you look at the 27th to today, you see like 6, then 2, 9, 12, 4, and 3. The price point hasn't moved as much, but we are starting to see like it get closer to 310 with all those boxes being bought. There's just these two boxes over here at 305, and then this is pretty much 310. This is like 309. This is 310. So yeah, and I kind of want like I like briefly just reviewed like how the cards look, so I'll just look at that real quick. Like this is Brilliant Stars, like um well, while like because I'm trying to look at fundamental values and kind of what the values are right now. The chase cards is Charizard with the Venusaur, it's 200, and then there's some like EV cards, which that kind of helps it. There's a good amount of like alt arts, and like Astral Radiance has pretty much says like Machamp over here, and then it has like these like Misties and Cynthia, and it has like Palkia Dialga. And then I look at Silver Tempest. So Silver Tempest, because that price is running up, like as a higher chase card, like about $100 more. You see the main chase card, 200 over here. This is 162, and Silver Tempest doesn't have as much depth. Like the other cards are not really as great or sought after, but yeah, this is definitely like the main reason why people open this set. And I look at that because I noticed like I've been like kind of hyping up Silver Tempest all this time, but yeah, that's new high right now. It's at 293. It's been pretty stagnant for a while, and then it's finally broke into 293. Like literally just the other day it was like $15 less than this. And I just said it's mostly because Silver Tempest just has so much more supply available right now, and the lack of depth doesn't help. But people do really want that Lugia, versus I don't think people are as excited to get the other cards. But yeah, a good amount of Silver Tempest was bought yesterday. The demand over the week was so. You see like at most of them have 3 except for yesterday. So 3 3, 1 1 1 3, and yesterday was 8, which helped a lot. But yeah, with that it's getting very close to Brilliant Stars pricing. So like Brilliant Stars is at 305. It is $12 below Brilliant Stars, and it is like $13 above Astral Radiance. So I really would not be surprised if Silver Tempest surpasses Brilliant Stars at this rate. And yeah, Astral Radiance has had like worse demand. It had like these 2 days with 2, but had like a bunch of days where it just sold 0. Actually, the last 2 days sold 0, and with that, like Astral Radiance hasn't really been moving up. And now it's back about 280. Lost Origin, I don't really fully understand Lost Origin. This is where I start comparing it to like Fusion Strike. Like I see Lost Origin here as like Giratina, value at $600 even raw, so that's like really high value. It's actually worth like half of the set. But like it's not really moving past like its $400 mark, versus Fusion Strike is moving past like its all-time high. And I know Fusion Strike, even though it feels really bad to actually open the sets. I think a lot of people don't realize that. But it has really, really good cards. And compared to other sets, as like like these 2 cards alone are worth more than the chase cards in Silver Tempest, Astral Radiance, and Brilliant Stars. So it has a lot of depth. These are really popular Pokemon: Gengar, Espeon, and Muse. And this is Chilling Rain. So I won't look at these as much. I know some people don't really like those as much. But yeah, it's just what's with Lost Origin? I still haven't really figured out why Lost Origin is always stuck around this $390 to $400 mark. There's just too much supply. No matter how much is being bought the last week, like a lot of days people bought 1, some days with 2. Yesterday was 4. I just can't break out of it compared to other boxes that are actually moving. Fusion Strike, Silver Tempest, and Brilliant Stars are moving. Lost Origin's kind of stuck. Yeah, and then I looked at Silver Tempest already. So Scarlet Violet base or Scarlet Violet, you see like all red. Oh yeah, Silver Tempest. Yeah, that's up like is that like $6 or something? Yeah, something like $6. Like it's I'm tired. My math can be off by like $1 or so. But you see mostly drops. I'll just go over like a lot of it has been there's been slower activity with Scarlet Violet lately. Like it's still higher than Sword and Shield, but like the thing is that there's more Scarlet Violet boxes available. So and the boxes aren't as expensive, so people will offload them more But it's got a lot of base. I mentioned yesterday that I like to trade more out of these 12 boxes, which hampers its price. And yeah, there was no demand yesterday, so this is one of the slower demand as of yesterday. Paldea evolved. It's been really continuously to shirk from its previous 250 price. Like the 250 price was on the 26th, and the last couple of days, it went back to around the 28th. Last couple of days, it's still been hovering like 240, like I see 238 to 243, and it just keeps having more and more Paldea at that price. So right now, this is one over here, 238. This has $2 at 240, $1 at 244, $3 at 244. So it's starting to get to the point where it's not really a sale and it's just literally the market correcting, unless someone buys it. I mean, it's not like a ton of boxes. It's like that was like, I don't know, 5 to 8 boxes, and it goes back up to like closer to 250. But yeah, I did mention before how there's a ton of boxes at 250. Like there's 12 over here, a bunch. So that made it harder for it to pass 1250 because people will see that, and the sellers will, they want to offload their boxes, so they're not going to play the 250 game. They're going to play like the 240 something game or 230. So that's kind of what happens. That lowers the actual price. City in Flames is a little different though, so it does have pretty low demand yesterday at 1. But there's not a ton of boxes at this lower price point 2 times. There's 3 over here. I guess there's this one with a tear, which that's a little iffy if it's actually damaged. After that, it goes back to 220. So City in Flames actually looks better, despite people were not buying a lot of booster boxes yesterday. And Paldea, let's see, Paldea was only 2. So yeah, people, I don't know. Even my YouTube views I checked yesterday, not a lot of people were watch yesterday though. Thursday usually slow. Thursday's something a really slow day. Although if I extrapolate that pattern a lot, I say that about any day. But I have noticed Thursday for some reason it's a really slow day sometimes. I don't really get the worst views on Thursdays. So I don't really know. I feel like it's more of a energy of the week thing than really just a market thing. Or I guess that is related to market. You know what I mean. It's more just a human. The phrase is never gonna be right if I say it. Paradox sold only 4. Yeah, it's been stuck at this 190 price for a while now. There's 5 boxes there, so we're kind of renormalizing. It is a big price jump from here to here because it's 5 boxes at 190, and then there's all these boxes at 200. So it's either someone's gonna finally buy these up, or we're gonna really stay at 190. So, but yeah, some people are buying the higher price box, 60 over here. Someone bought a 202. Temporal, unfortunately, there's just way too much. CardQuest has 23 at, I think that's a new one actually. And then Aurora Cards has 34. So there's just so many people. This is similar to Destined Rivals, where people are trying to offload the boxes. But yeah, CardQuest did just put a bunch on sale at 195. So, yeah, it's not really great for Temporal, to be honest. And then Twilight, yeah, 3 boxes sold yesterday. Oh yeah, what was the demand for Temporal? Temporal only 3. And then, but there's only 1 box at that, and it goes back to 228. And then so it's more just a sale at the moment, but yeah, there's no still these boxes. That sale could become an actual price correction. And then Stellar actually had a good amount of demand today at 6. But still kind of stuck at this 202 range over here. And then Surging is at 252. 12 boxers sold yesterday, but Surging always bounces back. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks guys, bye.